a quick update. Okay, so yesterday I made a video updating you all about the tornado warning. Out of nowhere, we had back-to-back iPhone alert message notifications about a tornado. We had to take cover. To the untrained eye, I think people will be very scared, especially if they have kids or pets involved. Luckily for me, that was not my first tornado warning. So from the first time it happened to me, I kind of got the gist of where you have to hide and things you have to clear out the way. And, it's a whole oral deal. So I guess I've been seeing a lot of different information about a so-called hurricane. Okay, just because I think words are very powerful, I'm not really, I don't really like to say hurricane a lot. I don't like to use certain words like, negative words. So the title speaks for itself, but that's what they're calling it. And I saw something about today, category 5, something like that, talking about category 5, which obviously I'm like, what? Like, category 5? Where did this thing come from? Where the heck did this thing come from? So, for the most part, I've not been stressed out. I've just been honestly just trying to get things done. But then it occurred to me, this is just like freaking COVID. This is just like the whole pandemic and everything else. It's like you're trying to make the most of your year. You're trying to make the most of your year. You're trying to get things done. You have all these things going on, and it's funny because every time there's like a health not health issue, a weather issue in Florida and other places, the amount of people that you find out live in Florida, or if there's like a celebrity that's visiting. I saw so many celebrities were like, oh my God, does anybody know where to go? Like, I'm stuck here. I'm like, how many of y'all are in Florida? Like, all of a sudden, everybody's in Florida at the worst time. So I'm like, okay, whatever. That's interesting. So, that kind of occurred to me, the pandemic already messed everybody up, no matter where you live in the world, Asia, Africa, South America, it doesn't matter who you are, the pandemic has messed up so much, so quickly for so many people, has set back educational plans, business plans, family plans, vacation, everything you could possibly think of. And I'm like, okay, here we go again. Schools being canceled, this, that, it's ridiculous. It's ridiculous. And then, as that's crossing my mind, it's just, once again, I come back to myself, I come back to the realization, you know what, you got to pick and choose your battles. You can't be hard on yourself, okay? Especially if you're in Cuba or Florida or wherever you are. That's this storm eye is being targeted by. I just want to tell you, person to person, don't be hard on yourself, because right now I'm thinking okay, here we go again. The end of the year is the year is basically coming to a close. What do we have? Okay, September's wrapping up, October, November, December, right? The year's coming to a close. So in my head, I'm just okay, well, who wants to end the year with this nonsense, because those who already been a hurricane, y'all know what I'm talking about. They have to, if there is any damage to the roads or your neighborhood, they have to bring trucks. They have to bring trucks. They got to bring work staff. They got to sometimes open roads, close roads, block roads off. It can get really messy. People who have never survived a hurricane, been through a hurricane, I'll just give you a little insight. When trees fall down, or let's say even more so palm trees, right outside of Florida, palm trees or things like that collapse in the road, if it's really that bad, that could take weeks. And if there's a common road that people use to get to work or to get to the grocery store, things like that, that causes problems. That causes a lot of delay in people's everyday life, everyday plans. So right now, it's kind of a situation where what else can we do? You see what I'm saying? But like, I saw this thing about hurricane snacks. You know, shout out to everybody in Florida, but like, you know, stocking up hurricane snacks and goodies and all that. Like, what else can we do? Like, the last thing I'm gonna do right now, you all, honest to God, is like, I'm not gonna listen to like all this news, because it's just so like negative. It makes it more scary than what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, I could see the footage. I could see it from outside of my house. Like, I could see how the weather looks. You know, like, I know what's going on. Like, okay, if you gotta tell me, okay, on a news article, category 5, all right, thank you. That's all I need to know. I don't want to be like, you know, dragging all this energy out about, oh, catastrophe and coastal guard. And who wants to hear that? That's gonna make everybody so scared and so like frazzled and not put into action like their plan. You know, some people will get like really caught up and like get scared and get anxiety attacks, and like, that's not cool. You know, some people are mentally stronger than others. You see what I'm saying? Like, I'm good. It's just that I don't want to like waste my energy watching people get rescued in like super high water. For what? Like, all I'm gonna do is cry. All I'm gonna do is feel bad for them. I can't do nothing about it. I'm not the Coastal Guard. You know, I'm not in the Army. So I'm just being real. Like, some things I cannot like use my energy upon. Like, yeah, I feel bad. Like, yeah, like, I want to know what's happening to like, what's gonna happen to like, you know, Florida, other places, but like, I'm not gonna dwell on it all day long. Like, that's just not healthy. So yeah, you know, like, if you get easily scared or triggered, you know, do not be sitting in front of the TV watching people say words like catastrophic and this, because like, that will definitely trigger people, you know. And like, due to like the pandemic, I feel like people have gone through enough. You know, people have really like, they've lost loved ones, they've lost pets, like, people have gone through a lot and are still going through a lot with the economy, inflation, all this recession, like all these things. Like, this is like the last thing that people need is a hurricane. Like, to keep it real, like, this is like the last thing that people in Florida need is a hurricane. Like, we don't need a hurricane right now. Like, we need to be able to still go to work and still have our kids in school. Like, people need to be able to live their life. And, you know, that part about it makes me sad, because we already been through so much. You know what I'm saying? Like, we already been through a lot. The country as a whole, America, like, we've already been through a lot. And like I said, other people in other states are watching this footage. Not only in Florida, but other places like the Caribbean, you know, Cuba, like other islands, you know, that are nearby, and they're terrified for us. I see the comments. I see people, what they put on Twitter, like, they're really scared. And I don't want people to like, you know, get in that mode, because then that kind of sparks like that kind of like ignites a fire around all of us, a panic, you know. And what I'm not trying to do is panic. I don't want to panic right now. You know, I'm trying to like stay calm. I don't want to panic. I don't want to freak out, because when you freak out, you're not clear-minded. You're not stable enough to make the tough decisions if you need to make tough decisions. Some people who are in worse areas, I heard we're talking about flying out, like trying to catch a last-minute flight. Good luck. I don't know how that works. I mean, I know one year it was like that, and people were considering it, and you know, it was really hectic. Like, people could not even, I mean, it was just chaos. It was very chaotic to see. I don't recommend that, you know. I mean, last minute is a bad idea, because maybe you're going to regret leaving your family behind, or you may forget something. It could just be a disaster. So if you are going to leave and you feel that strongly, do it earlier than later. You know what I'm saying? Don't wait till like it's hitting landfall and then you want to book a flight. I mean, that's not a good idea. Because you're probably going to have guilt. You're probably going to have anxiety. You're probably going to have all these negative emotions if that's what you do last minute. I'm not going nowhere. I mean, book a flight for what? I mean, first of all, that could take a long time. You may have to book a hotel room for like a month if that's what you're really on. You may have to book a hotel room for like weeks, close to a month if that's what you're really, if you're really about that. How you gonna get your work? I mean, I don't understand. I mean, everybody's a different situation, but that just seems like a lot of, a lot, basically. So, but yeah, if that's what you want to do, you know, if you have kids or babies or whatever, family, you have to get that in order first before you bounce, because that's kind of like selfish. So if that's what you on, keep in mind that once you book that hotel or that flight, you got to probably extend it by like a week, if not anything. You know, you're probably going to be in that hotel room, you know, fearing for your family and friends for like weeks. You know what I'm saying? If you're going to be out of the state and you're going to another state, and if you're going to go to another state, make sure the other state is not in the radar of the storm. You're going to have to go to probably the West Coast, or like maybe mid what do you call it, the mid area next to the West Coast. Probably going to have to go to that area. I think they call it Midwest, something like that. Yeah, probably. Okay, because it wouldn't be wise to go travel to another state that's still within the reach of the storm. You'd have to go west if that's what you want to do. But I haven't felt led to do that. I mean, I love my home. I love where I am. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm getting here prepared, so I'm not trying to go to a different state. I don't have that kind of feeling within me, but like, I would say if you do it sooner than later, obviously, you know. But yeah, you know, we got to take it easy. I know right now people are panicking, people are scared. You know, I've seen some footage out of Fort Lauderdale, Pembroke Pines, you know. I've seen a lot of different stuff, and it's not a good feeling, you know. Obviously, you know, if you want my thoughts, it's not a good feeling to see, you know, trees falling everywhere, you know, bottles broken, you know, cars ringing. I mean, like I said, it's chaos. It's like a chaotic energy, and you know, in order to be sound-minded, clear-minded, and at peace, you can't be chaotic. You know, chaos and peace cannot reside in the same place. So if you want to be like you know, a head without a head, you know, a chicken without a head, then, you know, you're gonna take it to heart. You're gonna go crazy. But if you just have an action plan, you follow the action plan, you know, you get your flashlight, you get your generator, you get your power system, you get all these things in place, you know, band-aids, whatever, okay, tub of water, like you get certain things in place, and you don't have to see it in that light. You know, some people are really panicking, but what I will say is, like, what does panicking do for you? What does worrying do for you? You know, panicking, worrying, stressing out, like, that's not gonna help you. All it's gonna do is push you over the edge, and you're gonna annoy people around you. You know, probably if you live with your family, or you say you're gonna go back with your family for shelter, all you're gonna do is stress people out. You're gonna annoy them. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, just my method to the madness right now is just keeping calm, carrying on, and getting things done. You know, that is like my method to the madness right now, is just making sure the environment is clean, things are in place in case of emergency. You know, water boots. I got my water boots, flashlight. I got a lot of stuff, you know, in case like there's water that is high. I've even considered that, because I think one year it was, if you have to walk through water. I know this sounds crazy, people that are not in Florida or whatever, but it could happen, you know what I'm saying? So just think about what you're going to do, you know, how you're going to get through the water, or how you're going to, where you're going to do your cars. If you have a garage, okay, what car is going to go in the garage, you know, stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? You don't have to, the first thing is freak out, because if you freak out, your body's going to freak out, and, you know, you could have some health issues, y'all. You don't want to be having to go to the hospital because you're having a panic attack. Like, some people do. I know it may sound funny to some people, but no, some people really, like, they freak out, especially people who maybe have just moved to Florida. Maybe some people who've just moved to Florida, they're not used to hurricane season. They could get a panic attack. They could get an anxiety attack. So I'm just telling y'all, like, if that's you and you're listening to me, don't panic. Just, you know, it is what it is. Like I said, if you want to leave the state, leave. If you can afford it, which I'm sure most people cannot afford that, to book a flight, whether round trip or one way, plus hotel, plus food, with this recession right here, good luck. Good luck. If it was that bad, I would just go to higher ground. I probably wouldn't go out of the state if I was in that position. I'd probably just go to higher ground. You know what I'm saying? Like higher. Like if you're just right on the beach, you can't do that. You know, if you're just right near a body of water, like you're right sitting on it, okay, that's not a good idea. Then yeah, you may have to go to a hotel. You may have to go higher, because if that ocean water comes up on your house, and your house is not on like a what you call it, a hill, or is not mounted up, then yeah, you probably are in trouble. But I'm not in the situation. I'm just saying, if you are, yeah, maybe that you do need to go to a hotel. You do need to go to a different state. I don't know. But good luck, because I ain't heard nothing about nobody helping people pay for no hotel, no flight ticket. I ain't heard it, honey. I ain't hear nobody talk about giving out no emergency check to get out of Dodge. I ain't heard it. I know that certain islands, I glanced at the TV and then I turned it down. I don't really want to watch it, to be honest with you. But they were talking about how certain islands, search and rescue was coming to take some people out, and they didn't want to leave. They wanted to stay. So it's up to you. You know, if you, like, I'll say this. If your gut is saying to you, you're in trouble, like the water is going to get you, like if you live near a body of water and you know that it can rise into the house and cause flooding, then maybe, yeah, you're in a bad pickle. But most people are not. Most people are not directly on a lake or a beach zone where you know that once that wind picks up, that water is going to come, flashing out your window. And if that is you, then, you know what you sign up for. I mean, people that have been living in Florida for years, you know what you're signing up for. If you buy a property, you live on a body of water, you know what you're signing up for, please. And you probably already have the best windshield protectors and all type of stuff on your house. And if you don't, you need to get that. So, just be practical about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, no reason to freak out. Get your snacks, get your food. You know what I'm saying? Get your necessities, get your essentials. Put it in a common place where you can find it in case something happens. You know what I'm saying? Like your flashlights, your this, your that, your chargers, whatever, your water, your ice, ice cooler. One year when it was really bad, the ice cooler was a lifesaver, where you have a bunch of ice. You have a huge ice. This is a good idea. You have a huge ice cooler. One time when the electricity was out, because that's what they're claiming now, is that there's a huge power outage. As you all could see, I still have power. As you all could see, I still have power in my house. All the lights are on. All the lights are on, So I'm enjoying it. While I have it, if that's the case. But we're ready. I have things for that too. But what I'm saying is, in a case right now, if you're watching and you don't have power, look for an ice cooler. Go buy an ice cooler at Home Depot. Go somewhere, Walmart, quick, and put some ice in the ice cooler so you have cold drinks and you have things to. And if when the ice gets watery, if you don't have like water or whatever, you could even dip your feet in that or whatever you got to do. Some people, they have to shower with that kind of water. I don't know how that goes, honey, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like if it gets really bad, like you do have to have coolers to pack ice in and things like that. So yeah, ice cooler is always a good thing to have. An ice cooler is always a good thing to have. Like I said, flashlights, something to generate power, different generators you can have in your house, matches, candles, you know what I'm saying? Things like that. But tape even to hold up tape. What else is a good thing to have? Water bottles, cases of water, very important. Water, very important. So things like that. You see what I'm saying? But yeah, shout out to all of us. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to every single one of us who's going through this right now. Do we deserve it? We don't. Nobody deserves I can't call it natural, but you know, a weather catastrophe. You know what I'm saying? Nobody deserves that. Nobody. But when it happens, and you have to be prepared. So go easy. The last thing I'm gonna do is be hard on myself right now when all the plans are halted once again. The year's halted once again, just like the pandemic, and we have to snap into action. You know, this is what we have to do. We don't have a choice. We don't have a choice unless you want to leave everything to the last minute and you want to get messed up. That's on you. But you know, never leave nothing to last minute. Never leave nothing to last minute. Get everything in order as soon as possible, ASAP. Okay, so yeah, you all, I mean, I just wanted to acknowledge the common feeling of a lot of us right now. You know, we're like, great, you know, another thing we have to worry about or another thing we have to deal with. You know, yes, it sucks, but it's life. It's life. And, you know, people that lived in Florida maybe for a long time, you know, they understand it. People that haven't, you know, it's going to be harder for them because they have to kind of figure out where everything is, where they go buy stuff, certain stuff. But if you've been living in Florida for a while, any other neighboring area or, you know, island, you kind of get the deal. You already know what the deal is, you know what I'm saying? But I think it's going to be a little bit of time. Like I said, you know, I do feel there could be some trees in the road. There could be some blockages. And that's going to be, you know, a challenge to overcome. You know, I remember 1 year it was like that. And there was a lot of people that had to come and clear out the way, clear out the roads. And people were obviously hired to do that. They were hired to come with big trucks and clear out the road. And that could happen to a lot of areas and a lot of places with this situation. So that's going to require patience. It's going to require a lot of patience because if you're just used to getting up and going and not having to drive through water, not having to, you know, make a U-turn, a detour, you know, you could be very flustered. So I'm just telling you from now, if you're new, like to Florida, whatever, like just realize that could happen. Okay, it's a strong possibility that there's a lot of trees around you. They could fall. They could cause some issues. So make sure that you have, you know, your car out of the way. You have certain things out of the way. You know, it could be a lot, but you know, just gotta stay calm. Like through it all, you gotta stay calm. You gotta stay positive. You know what I'm saying? Like it sounds funny. I know it's crazy. But that's life. Life is unexpected. Life is always a challenge, right? Life is always a challenge. And the part about being a human, you know, in that way is you just got to kind of snap into action and do the best you can. So thank you all for watching. Thank you all for the love, the support. You know, just going to be staying busy here, getting things done and, you know, do what I can. And it's a lot. It's definitely a lot, but what can you do? So just like the pandemic, we have another huge thing on our hands, which sucks, but it's life. All right, y'all take care. Bye. See you in the next video. Bye.